Good afternoon and welcome to Sudbury. My name is Tina, and with me here is my pal Mike. We will be your hosts for today's exciting historical adventures. Shortly you will learn all about the gold robbery that took place in this small town over 50 years ago. But first, let us tell you a bit about ourselves.
It's okay, Mike, I got it.
Well, I mean, that's the least you could do
for
bringing me out here in this snow. You didn't tell me we'd be traipsing around in 3 feet of snow.
What do you expect?
I just kind of assumed we'd be on the sidewalk or inside.
Come on. Born and raised in Sudbury, we often ask ourselves, why do we live in this great white north? I mean, take a look around. Minus 20 degrees outside with 10 feet of snow, and it's still coming down.
Yo, there's no way it's only minus 20 out. It definitely feels like at least minus 30. I mean, why can't we just go inside and grab a book?
Give it a rest. This is supposed to be my introduction. Anyways, as I was saying, this is one reason for me wanting to continually travel outside of this small blizzard town. Don't get me wrong, Sudbury has provided me with excellent opportunities, including 7 years of post-secondary education at Laurentian University. 3 degrees later, I landed a job here at the Sudbury Region Police Museum as museum curator. When I'm not working, I'm outside playing. Unable to stay home for more than 2 seconds, this lonely planet girl is always looking for her next big adventure. Whether it's jumping in my car and heading to Florida for a week, or taking off in the middle of nowhere to go camping, I'm always looking for an adventure to add to my travel journal. Including this one.
Oh, hi. Didn't see you there. I'm Mike.m4v. I'm a PhD candidate at McMaster University, and I could definitely say that I'm a history geek. Take, for example, this book. My sister got me this for Christmas last year. I don't know anybody else that would get a D-Day book for Christmas and actually be excited about it, but that's who I am. I am a bona fide history geek. Ever since I was a little boy, I always wanted to study history. I just didn't know in which capacity. My ultimate goal is to become a professor. That way I can write about history and teach history. I think being a host for It Happened Here would give me the opportunity to talk about history, get other people excited about it, especially Canadian history, which is one of my passions.
Geek alert!
Come on.
Geek alert!
Are we going outside now or what?
Mike, are you really going to wear that hat on television? I mean, everyone already knows that you're a history geek. Now they're going to know that you're a Leafs fan as well.
First off, while this is a Toronto Maple Leafs hat, it's the Toronto Maple Leafs baseball team, not the hockey team.
Okay, I don't get it. So Toronto had 2 baseball teams, one of them that shared the name with the hockey team?
Yeah, this was Toronto's high-level minor league ball club that played from 1896 to 1967.
Okay, so Toronto had a defunct baseball team. What's the big deal?
Well, as history should have it, Babe Ruth, while playing for the Providence Grays, hit his first home run against the Toronto Maple Leafs in Toronto.
Right. Geek alert! Geek alert! You might be wondering what these 2 things have in common. Well, it turns out that they both made headlines in 1952. Only one on a grander scale than this small town story.
Just shortly after 11 o'clock in the morning on May 29th, 1952, thieves escaped with 3 gold bricks from an unattended mail cart at this old Canadian Pacific Railway station.
2 of the 3 bricks were from British Columbia. Neither the local police, the OPP, the RCMP, or the CP Rail Police were aware that the gold transfer was being made. The bricks were said to have weighed 60 pounds each and were valued at $80,000. The eastbound train was heading to Ottawa. However, the mail cart the bricks were on was intended for Toronto.
This is where Sudbury comes into play. In 1952, Sudbury was the only transfer point between British Columbia and Ottawa. It didn't take local thieves too long to clue in that this would be the most vulnerable point to rob a train.
Therefore, there was a brief period of time when the gold bricks was not on any train, but rather just in the rail yard. It was then reported that 2 or 3 men were walking away from the train cart with heavy objects in their jackets.
So you think it looks something like this?
Yeah, Mike, just like that. Why don't you just stick to your research? Okay, so we already know that the stolen gold was worth $80,000 in 1952. How much is it worth today?
Well, based on the gold market rating for December of this year, gold was valued at over $1,300 an ounce. which is roughly over $4 million in today's terms.
Wow, that sounds like Sudbury's own version of the Italian Job.
So we're here with the 1952 criminal registry from the Sudbury Police Department. Tina was kind enough to retrieve it from the museum archives for us to have a look at. An intensive investigation revealed that John Clifford Buckley, the baggage porter that was engaged with transferring the gold, was related by marriage to a well-known criminal in the area named Harry Henderson.
Buckley eventually admitted his involvement and named his accomplice Jack Meldrum. Buckley received 5 years at Kingston Penitentiary, while Jack Meldrum received 3. There was a gold robbery here at the downtown train station 50 years ago. Do you have any idea in the world where the gold may have ended up?
I really think it might have ended up at the end of the rainbow.
The end of the rainbow? In Mexico?
A year later, in 1953, Interpol had forwarded information to the Sudbury Police that the gold bricks had ended up in Singapore. They were eventually returned to Sudbury, where the case was closed.
Go.
Now, if we can get this excited about an old gold robbery, we can definitely get others excited as well.
Just think what the two of us can do given the opportunity to explore some of Canada's most interesting and exciting histories.
We're definitely up to the challenge. Just give us the word and we'll Babe Ruth every segment for you.
Pardon me?
You know, Babe Ruth, knocked out of the park, hit a home run.
Oh, another baseball term. Okay.
This one's for you, Sheena.
Remember, it happened here in 1952. I think that's good. Buckley was ultimately convicted to 3 years in Kingston Penitentiary. That's awful. Sounds like I have marbles in my mouth. Okay.
One. Recording right now, guys.
That's not fair.
That's all I wanted to do.